Hi, welcome to Dreamgirl. We are in lesson 1. So this is our first lesson and I have created videos for you. So every week there will be a video for each lesson. And in addition to that, a PDF with the exercises that will help you to apply whatever we're talking about in your own lives. And there will also be some slides to kind of explain the exercises if you need that, along with me having doing a voiceover and explaining the affirmations and meditations as well. So this video segment is really just to kind of give you an idea about what to expect and what lesson 1 is all about. Lesson 1 is just an introduction to why I'm doing this, so why I'm sharing this with you. I found in my journey over the last year that it has been really beneficial to look at the energies within us and really kind of get to know myself a lot better, my mind, my body, my soul, my intuition. And it's a journey that has been at times a little bit confronting, but nonetheless just soaring results, because I have been able to achieve happiness with a capital E, because I believe we can make it happen. Happiness is not something that comes to us, is for the lucky ones, for the fortunate ones. I believe we're all here as human beings, and with that comes the entitlement of having the power of reason, the power of consciousness, of awareness, and being able to actually be in charge of our own minds. Not that we always take advantage of that, but we have been given that empowerment. At the same time, it comes with a lot of responsibility. Being a human being, most people would say, "Oh, life is so difficult," or "Why is it always ups and downs?" And that it creates a sense of pessimism in us, because we sometimes go through difficult times, and we exacerbate the time and energy we spend on those difficult times, because it leads to anxiety, it leads to worry, it leads to us discussing it with our friends, needing a support network. And what we don't realize is that we actually keep feeding that negative energy if something bad has happened to us. On the flip side, when something good happens to us, we often don't trust it. We actually think, "Oh, well, that won't last. Oh, well, let's see when that turns sour." And so we're also putting in a negative slant on the positive things that happen, and we don't really foster that enough. And what I've found in the last year, as I've been going through some of these very mindful practices that I have been taught by some amazing people, amazing coaches, amazing YouTubers and readings, and I will share all that with you in my book entitled Dreamgirl, is that when we actually look at how the mind works and how energies work, that everything is connected, that's when we can start to make the right changes. Making the right changes is dependent on accepting what is happening in and around us. The things that we're taught in life are usually things that are considered concrete and tangible. What we consider concrete and tangible are usually experiences that are to do with our 5 senses. So something that we can see, hear, touch, feel, taste. That is usually what our conscious mind considers a fact, and when it's a fact, we are more likely to believe it. But we all know that our lives are not really limited to the facts. our lives, in fact, are more about the intangible, more about the abstract, more about the interpretation. So a situation with another person, for example, could just be, this person says something and it's just a fact. This is what they said. You are late. It's a fact. Okay? And we can hear those words, you are late. And we look at that, we look at the appointment, and we can say, yes, I am. I am 2 minutes late. That's a fact. That's something that we can hear. We can say, this is a very tangible conversation. However, when you look at the context of it, it might be a situation where your boss just sent you on an errand and said, can you do this for me in the morning? And then you come to work and you are 2 minutes late. And then the boss says to you, you're late. And you might not think that that is appropriate because you've just done them a favor. Why are they saying you're late rather than saying thank you? Can you see how your mind will then start to go into accusatory mode because we are using every experience that we've ever had to interpret this situation. So interpretation is a huge part of our lives, and we need to acknowledge that in order to be able to maybe see what the impact is. So when I say happiness with a capital E, and I mean we can make it happen, it is our choice. And I think that's been the most empowering thing that I have learned, that I want to share with you throughout the lessons, is that you will always have a choice. You have a choice on how you perceive something. So you have a choice to just look at the facts and to state the facts, or you can look beyond that. And when you look beyond that, you can see, well, where is that interpretation? Why am I cross now? Why am I upset about this person telling me that I'm late? It might show up that, that's not the nicest thing to say, but why is that my problem? Why is it my problem if someone said something that's not appreciative? It's not. And I think learning how we can actually set those boundaries of what can be, what we either choose to let in as a problem or choose to deflect. It's not easily done. It is simple, but it's not easy. So I just want to explain the general gist of energies in my experience, how it's worked, is that if we just look at everything is energy. Everything in us and around us is energy. We focus on a little bit more of a spiritual aspect of it. And when we think of spiritual, I'm not talking religion. I am talking about the foundation of the word spirituality. The foundation is spirit. Spirit. What is spirit? What is your spirit? You're in good spirits. What is spirit? Spirit is us. So spirit is within us. And that's the intangible. But that is more us than anything else is, because a taste, a touch, a sound, those are things that we can perceive with a minor part of us, an organ. But spirit is us. It's within us. It's our soul. It's our whatever you want to call it. And to nurture spirit means to really get to grips with it, to really understand what makes me happy, because my spirit is my elation. It is what I am. It is what I want to be. And what I want to be is happy with who I am. So that relationship with spirit is key. Is spirit on the outside? Yes, it is. We are part of this whole connect. We are part of the universe. And there are many other human beings. There are other beings. We're all beings. And to interconnect with others is a very important part of our responsibility here on earth. So what happens when there are energies within us, our spirit, and energies around us, and there is that connection? It means that everything is intertwined. That is the challenge for us, because have you ever been in a situation where you wake up and you do what you need to do and you feel happy, you feel content, you're fine. You're fine. You're in good spirits. You're in a good mood. You're fine. You go to work or you go meet up with people, and there's somebody who is really rude, who flips you off in the car, or honks or curses or has a really negative attitude, whatever the situation, but you're suddenly exposed to somebody's foul mood, perhaps somebody's abuse. And think about how that then impacts you. Are you able to say, oh, or do you feel impacted by that? And depending on how long that situation is, how close the person is that does it to you, how frequently that is, how much it relates to previous experience that you've had, like is it a re-traumatization? There are so many different variants to this, but ultimately one energy is impacting the other. And this is what I mean. We're in constant state of flow. So what we will learn in this course is how to set essential boundaries. We are aware that our energy can impact others. We are aware that the energy of others can impact us. If we don't want that to happen, we need to do two things. We need to strengthen ourselves through an acceptance. The only way we can accept who we are is to understand who we are, and to understand that we're not flesh, we're not the body, that's all decaying. We're not what we see we are. We are what we feel we are. When we really listen to ourselves, and there are certain practices we can do, through breath, through nature, through really nurturing that spirit and the passion within us. When we do that, we are able to be so confident that we are who we are. We'll be very conscious of who we are, and we'll be able to be conscious of other people's energies. That will help. Secondly, we need to be mindful of ourselves, our insecurities, our weaknesses, our ego, so that we can set boundaries to protect that sacred spirit. It is not anywhere intangible. It is here. It is how we connect to the rest of the universe. So looking at the energies and how we can really nurture ourselves, make ourselves stronger, so that our energies are the best that they can possibly be. Because if we're looking at it as a fence around us, a protective shield that we're setting up through really well applied boundaries in life, we really want to make sure that we're not imprisoning ourselves in an energy field that is not good for us. So we don't want to be trapped in a non-productive mind, in a mind that is making us feel terrible, frightened, anxious. We want to be a healthy mind in a healthy body. And way we do that is a process, a journey that is enjoyable from the start. So it's not something that will take months and months and months to have an impact. It will take probably years to perfect it to the kind of the consciousness that a Buddhist monk lives with. But this is not what this program is about. This program is about really protecting ourselves so that we start to have a beautiful life of happiness, a fulfilled life here on earth, while we are trapped in this body, while we are trapped in an egoic mind, or where that is part of our existence. We need to channel those energies and make sure that we are aware of all the aspects that impact our lives and impact spirit within us. And that spirit is going to drive everything in your life, and that spirit is going to determine the goals that you have. And the goals could just be very simple goals of, this is what makes me happy, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, we need to be pragmatic about it. We live in a world where we obviously, abundance and prosperity comes through different means, money, have a job, and all of those practical things. And you will see, by developing your own self and your spirit, so the best personal development you can have, you will be able to apply this to every area of your life. So to recap, happiness is not something that we're just going to sit back and wait for. Happiness is something that we make happen. I've done it for myself. I've come from a situation that was just, like, I don't even want to spend any more time discussing it, but, just dire in every way, professionally, personally, anyway. So coming out of that was a journey that was essential, necessary, but it was also something where I can say to you now, it's doable. It's absolutely doable. However, there is one big thing that I learned, and that is, it's got nothing to do with what we think it does. It is a rethinking. It is a taking stock of who we really are, and how to do that is a journey inward. And I hope that I'm able to show you throughout the lessons how to get closer to spirit, to your own spirit, to your own self, and make it all about you, your own self-development. And in return, you will start to see beautiful experiences manifesting in your world, because you are in control, and you will know what you can control, and you will learn what you can't control. And what you can't control, believe me, are the things that universe brings to you. And the things that you can't control are beautiful gifts, if you use your mind in the right way. If we're not conscious of it, and if we don't use our mind appropriately, our mind will use us, and it will be an unconscious story that perpetuates and perpetuates. And it is a life that is not very livable. It is a roller coaster. It is an expectation of negativity, and it is going to get harder as we get older. And I got to a point where I was like, I'm old enough now to say that I really prefer not to suffer anymore. I don't like the mental anguish. I don't like suffering, and I really didn't know how to get out of that. I do now, and I apply it on a daily basis. I spend a lot of time studying, and it works, and it really, really works. So this is my me giving back to you, because I know that over the time, whenever I have had those difficult times, you have been there for me, and I hope to give back to you and to be able to say, okay, I no longer want to dwell in any negativity from the past or going forward. And I have found a way to make sure that doesn't happen. And by doing that, I have attracted a lot of positivity into my life that is beyond any dreams I could have ever realized. And that's why I call this program Dreamgirl, because it is all about our dreams, the dreams that we have for ourselves. The first thing we want to do is start to believe that it's possible. The second thing we'll do is get to know ourselves so well that we can start trusting our intuition again, and that we can actually decide what it is that makes us happy. On that note, I hope you enjoy the exercises for you in the workbook, and I will see you next time for lesson 2. Bye, Dream Girl.